You know, the beautiful thing about the church calendar is that God in his story of redemption interrupts the rhythms of our daily lives and infuses them with the rhythms of grace. And that is what's happening every season, every year that we go through the season of Advent. Advent is considered the first season of the church calendar year. It's actually when it begins, not January 1st, that's the civil calendar, but it begins this year on November the 30th. That will be Advent 1. And for all 4 weeks, we learn to be a people who live with the urgency and the expectation that God is coming to earth. Now, of course, for Advent, the readings primarily have to deal with the first coming of Christ, the incarnation. That this is, of course, something that we must meditate on. The incarnation itself is something that has ramifications for all of human history. It's only reason we have a faith to begin with is that Christ makes himself known. C.S. Lewis writes about this very idea of God initiating change in humanity by comparing Shakespeare, the writer, to his play Hamlet. And what he says is Hamlet cannot know Shakespeare unless Shakespeare reveals himself in the writing of the story to Hamlet. Similarly, our God does that with his creation. We cannot possibly know God truly for who he is, who he really, really is, unless the Son of God comes down to us, becomes one of us, and writes himself into the story. So what is the story of Advent? It's a story of expectation. It's a story of fulfilled longing. It's also a story of what is to come. The first Advent reading for Sunday is going to be this sort of end times passage about the stars and the moon and the planets, crashing down upon the earth. And so people through the centuries have created like their own ideas of what that really means. But for us, most of it's just very much symbolically trying to communicate that when Christ returns, the end of the world as we know it will be upon us, and that the world of God's dream will be fulfilled and manifested all around. So that Advent is not just about remembering what it means to anticipate his first coming, it's also remembering what it means to anticipate his second coming, that we live as Christians with that urgency. Now, what does this mean for our church? For those of us who live between the first and the second coming? Well, for Advent, we want to take this time to remember that as a church, we are anticipating that God is going and will continue to do great things with our church. That he will continue to do incredible things with us. That for 2026, beginning really with Advent in 2025 and then with 2026, we are going to experience a year of tremendous challenge and blessing. We believe in our heart of hearts that what really is happening is that we are learning to walk through the open door. Most doors look closed if you're standing far off. But when you get closer, you realize there's a little crack in the door. You just need to walk through. And so by getting closer, I just mean that we as a church are learning to be a people who actually take risks, who get out there in faith and say, God, where are you moving? Where are you acting in the world? We want to participate with you in your grand story. We are going to be like Hamlet, but we actually know Shakespeare. We want to show the world, all the bit players in God's theater, that we know the author. And that for Advent this year, that is what we're calling our people to for the rest of the year, to walk through the open door. We trust that the exercise and close proximity to the needs and the challenges of our community is going to bear even more fruit next year. Yes, we have had a hand in starting a mentorship group at the school we adopted this year. We have had a hand in helping to give kids shoes. We've had a hand in preaching the gospel to pickleballers and funding missionaries and being hospitable to the broken and the weak, the aged and the dying. We've done the work of the church. We have nothing to be ashamed of. We just believe that work is going to exponentially multiply in the years to come. But I need your help. We're heading into year 4 of existence as a church plant. And year 4 is always one of the hardest years. And so we need our people. We need everyone who's listening and watching this video to understand that we need your help. I need you to give 2 things to this church. 1, give of your time. Volunteer. Go to special events. Give your time on Sunday morning. Be a regular participant in the worshiping life of our church. And invite your friends. Continue to invite your neighbors to the things that we're doing so that we are inviting them as characters in the theater of God to get to know their author. That's the first thing. Give of your time. And the second thing is give of your resources. Don't be afraid to give money to the various projects and ideas that we have in this church. You're a part of it. If you don't give your resources, it doesn't really happen. Giving our resources to the mission of God here, it allows us to punch way above our weight class. And church, we have punched way above our weight class. For a church our size to have the impact we're having, it is largely because people like you decide to give a percentage of their income to what we're doing. And so let me just challenge everybody once again. Think about what it means to be a part of this community and join us here at All Saints Conroe.